This is it. The time has come. This is it. For us to be one. This is it. One. Oh. This is it. Living together in harmony. This is it. What's going on, Wiz Nation and Mystics Nation? It's your main man, K. Jose, and I'm back. Welcome to another episode of DC Hoopla. Took a little time away. Last week was in Vegas. Took the wife out to Vegas. Today is her birthday. Well, yesterday actually was her birthday. But today is Thanksgiving Day. So she's definitely a turkey baby because she was born on Thanksgiving Day. But it feels good to be back on here. But it doesn't feel good to be back on here on a negative note, which is talking about the Washington Wizards' last two losses. So before I even get started with that, got to give special shout outs. Definitely want to thank everybody for being a subscriber to DC Hoopla, also being a subscriber to State of the Wizards, and a subscriber to my main man D-Can at his Wizards Mafia. We appreciate everything you guys have done as far as following us, listening to our content, commenting in the down below in the comment section. Eventually, we're going to start doing live shows. That way you can actually comment and converse with us on demand, or should I say actually live with us. If any of you guys want to come up and join an episode, let us know. Start putting the emails in the description box so you can reach out to me directly. I'm not too sure if DK is going to do that, but I'll definitely put my email in if you want to reach out to me directly and let me know. Follow myself at DC Hoopla on IG and Twitter. Follow DCan at Wizards Mafia, Twitter, IG. Also subscribe to his Spotify. Wiz Takes is on Spotify. DC Hoopla is also on Spotify. And pretty soon, State of the Wizards, we will be on Spotify. We are the voices of the unheard. We provide you the content that you look for. Nobody out there, and I'm going to be very, very honest, nobody out there is bringing you the kind of content that myself and D-Can is bringing you. A lot of the things that are happening right now, State of the Wizards was already telling you this in advance. So let's get into today's episode. So we're going to talk about the Washington Wizards loss to the Pelicans. And I'm actually sharing my screen because I want you guys to see some stats. So let's make sure of that. So let's look at that. So the Wiz lose to the Pelicans 127-102. The Pelicans was actually 3-16 coming into this game last night, and now they're 4-16. This was a So Wizards basketball game. And look at this. When you look at these quarters, only quarter that we played okay in was the third quarter when we were actually even out with the Pelicans. But the Pelicans dominated this game from start to finish. They outscored us in 3 of the 4 quarters that we played, which is very unacceptable. And a lot of people are thinking that some players on the Wizards was already thinking about eating turkey today, so they weren't engaged. 22% from three-point range to the Pelicans 41%. We made 7 three-point shots out of 31 attempts. We shot terrible from the free throw line. Probably the worst I've seen so far this season at 63.9%. I mean, we missed 13 free throws to the Pelicans actually going 84%. We got out-rebounded, which we have been getting out-rebounded so far this month. We were actually rebounding the ball. We was actually averaging 50 rebounds last month. Now we're only averaging 45 rebounds this month. And look, we were right at our average to the Pelicans 52. Our assist number, we got out assisted yesterday. They had 10 more assists than we did. They had a total of 13 steals to our 5. Our turnovers have increased. We turned the ball over at such a high rate. We had 19 to their 10. Points in the paint, we've been pretty consistent. But it's the turnovers that's been picking up. The rebounding, we haven't been doing a good job on that. And our three-point percentage, I mean, that's been our Achilles all season long. So when we look at individual stats, Kyle Kuzma only gave us 7 points, 5 boards. Katavius, he gave us 9 points. Gafford only gave us 8. Bill had 23. Spencer Dinwiddie had 11, almost a triple-double. I know a lot of people have been complaining about Spencer Dinwiddie, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Deni Avdija, who's our best defender on the team, who's one of the best defenders leading the league in defense. He's pretty much a lockdown defender. He had 3 points, but I've always said his offense is going to match with his defense. Montrezl Harrell had 10. Howell Neto had 13. Sorry about that. Not too sure what occurred there. So all in all, I mean, when you look at this was a game that you can easily tell that a lot of the players were not engaged. The Pelicans wanted this game. 26 points from Brandon Ingram. Valanciunas had 21. Josh Hart, 16. Devontae Graham, 12. What's his name? Nickel Alexander Walker, 12. Willie Hernan Gomez, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, 13. Former Wizard Tomas, he had 4 points. Former Wizard Garrett Temple had 4. So the Pelicans played an all-around game. But when you look at the stats as a team, and you see the 22% from downtown, but we taking 31 attempts. We have to stop shooting threes. Teams know we can't shoot threes. We know that we can't shoot threes, but for some reason, we decide we want to continue to keep shooting threes at a high rate. So what we're seeing now in these games is we're reverting back to bad basketball, seeing a lot of isolation basketball, seeing a lot of careless turnovers. We're not talking to each other. We're not playing as a team as the way we did last month. This team, since we started out 5-1, has been 500. We've gone 6-6 since the 5-1 start. Let me repeat that again, people. We have gone 6-6 since the 5-1 start. Now, this loss, it's not on Wes Unseld Jr. This loss is on the players. The players did not step up to Wes Unseld Jr. Bradley Beal said that Wes Unseld Jr. cussed him out during halftime. Evidently, that didn't go anywhere because the team responded in the second half the same way they responded in the first half, which was non-existent. So obviously, there is clearly a disconnect when it comes down to this team of what style of basketball we're going to play. Our identity is us playing defense and creating defense and turning the defense into offense. So let me stop sharing my screen. And we're no longer doing that. Now we're starting to play selfish basketball. Everybody's out there trying to get their points. We got players out here that have their own personal agendas. They know who they are. And since I'm talking about the loss from yesterday, let's talk about the loss to the Hornets. Let me share my screen for that, and let's see what happened with that. So we lose the Hornets on the road. No, I'm sorry, at home. 109-103. Now, this was a winnable game. A lot of people say this is a winnable game. But Terry Rozier had 32 points in that game. LaMelo had 28 and 13. He had 28 and 13, almost a triple-double. But Terry Rozier has made 8 3-pointers in that game. 8 threes. When a player makes 8 3-pointers against you, you deserve to lose. So let's look at the team stats. We shot 38%. Once again, we go back to the 3-point percentage. We shot 24%. We took 37 3-point attempts and only made 9 of them. The Hornets didn't shoot that well from the free throw line. We did. And I believe this game, a lot of people were complaining about the refs, which I don't understand why, because we went to the line 3 more times than the Hornets. Look at our rebounding. My goodness, 65 rebounds as a team? We out-rebounded the Hornets by 29. We had 29 more rebounds than the Hornets. Points in the paint. We had 50 points in the paint. But what hurt us? The 18 turnovers to their 10. Them shooting 48% from downtown. Them shooting 44% from the field as a team, and we shooting 38% as a team. Bad basketball. That's what we're seeing. Kyle Kuzma gave us 11 and 13. KCP gave us 17 points. Bill had 18, almost had a triple-double. Montrezl Harrell, 24 and 18. So people want to know, well, why did we lose the game? Well, Spencer Dinwiddie gave us 8 points and 4 boards. Let me say this about Spencer Dinwiddie, because I know a lot of people like to talk about his lack of play, him not being aggressive. Spencer Dinwiddie, at least in 3 games that I can think of, has been part of the reason why we have won some of these games. Spencer Dinwiddie can go 3 quarters without doing anything, but in that 4th quarter, he can give you a good 10 points, and they're key clutch buckets. I will say this. Had Spencer Dinwiddie not been clutch, we would be actually on the other side of 500, which is below 500. If Spencer Dinwiddie is not having an impact in the game, we lose these ball games. So Spencer Dinwiddie didn't have an impact against the Hornets, and he didn't have an impact against the Pelicans, and we lost those games. It is very important that Spencer Dinwiddie has some form of an impact in the game. If he doesn't play, and we've seen that too, when he does not play, there are times we don't win those games. Now, to the Bill apologists, I got to be honest. We're 3-0 without Bradley Beal, and we won games when Bradley Beal doesn't play his best either. When we went 5-1 last month, Bradley Beal didn't play his best in those games. I think he only played 1 game when he played very well. But Spencer Dinwiddie's impact is very important. See, what I believe it is that fans have gotten accustomed to having a Gilbert Arenas, having John Wall, having Russell Westbrook. And now you have Spencer Dinwiddie, who are not those players, who plays a little bit more under control, who doesn't really turn the ball over at a high rate. Now people are upset and say, well, we need him to be more aggressive. Well, weren't some of you guys frustrated and talking about Westbrook turning the ball over at a high rate, going out there, going rogue? Y'all said the same thing about John Wall. You guys was happy about Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh, well, he's going to put up 20 and 7. I remember saying on State of the Wizards that I don't believe that Spencer Dinwiddie is going to give us 20 and 7, and so far he hasn't. It's not his job. His job, I think, should be he's more of a Chauncey Billups with the Detroit Pistons when he gets everybody else involved, and then when it's time to close the game out, he's closing the game out. But what we're seeing now is Bill is trying to close out the game, and Bill has been averaging in the last several games pretty much damn near 6 turnovers. And he's turning the ball over in clutch moments of the game. So the Washington Wizards' identity is what got us to 5-1. That's playing as a team, playing solid defense, turning your defense into offense. The ISO basketball, we saw that last season. This team cannot revert to playing ISO ball when everybody's taking a quick shot early in the shot clock, or we're trying to create double hedges for Bradley Beal to get wide open. Bradley Beal is overexerting himself trying to get 20 to 30 points because he's trying to hit the MVP status. He needs to get it out of his head that that's not going to work. And when the team wins the ball game, give credit to Wes Unseld Jr. as well as the teammates. Don't give all the credit to Bradley Beal. This Bradley Beal worshiping that has been going on has got to cease. So when we look at the next few games that this team is we're getting ready to play, we play the Thunder tomorrow on the road. That could go either way. Now, the Thunder is not a good team, but neither were the Pelicans, and we lost. The Thunder is a young team that's hungry. They don't have nothing to play for. We do. The Mavericks, they're kind of mediocre, but God, they got that guy, Luka Doncic. He's a problem. We could easily lose that game. Then after that, we play San Antonio. Then we play the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are not as bad as I thought they were. And then, of course, we play the Cavaliers. But what type of these next 3 games coming up, really, I would say these next from tomorrow all the way up into the 6th of December, it's really going to tell what kind of season we're really going to have. I was a little bit reserved during the whole run because even when we were like 8-3 and when we were 10-3, I was reserved because it was still early. I didn't want to get too excited because it's a long season. Anything can happen. And as you can see, we're starting to hit reality. Teams are starting to get hip. They know we can't shoot the 3. They know we're going to shoot ourselves out of games. They know all they got to do is pack that paint in. They know we're going to try to pass the ball to Bill. We're not gelling just yet. Players are not familiar with each other. So as the season goes on, and now the game's becoming a little bit much more closer, and the schedule is becoming a little bit more condensed. We don't really have a lot of time, for this team to actually get to know each other. So you're kind of winging it. We're going to see what type of season we're going to actually have, because now we're getting ready to go into the month of December, and there's quite a few games that are not gimmies. We will be seeing the Jazz. We will be seeing the Nuggets. We will be seeing, I believe the Suns are 14-3. We will be seeing these teams. So as a fan of my Wizards, I believe reality is actually setting in. So, Wiz Nation, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode of DC Hoopla. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys. You guys be safe out there. Also, before I end this episode, and I normally don't do this, but I'm going to actually do this because I'm going to talk about something very current, and it's going to be very short. I definitely want to say rest in peace to Young Dolph, Memphis rapper that was murdered in his hometown. He was going to get cookies, and he was gunned down at the cookie shop. 36-year-old philanthropist, well-known rapper in Memphis. Hip-hop community is actually mourning his loss. The streets out here are crazy. It's unfortunate for him, for his family, for his fans. We got to love one another. Definitely tell your loved ones that you love them, because tomorrow's never promised. So on that note, I want to say you guys have a good one. Definitely appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one. This is it. The time has come. This is it. For us to be one. This is it. One.
Wasn't long ago, I had a vision, deep sensitivity inside my mind, deep sensitivity.